Hello, and welcome to Helicon West. I am Asher Blakely. I'll be your MC tonight. Thank you all for being here. Helicon West is an uncensored public reading series. We regularly host published authors alongside community writers to promote and support all levels of skill, ability, and craft. If you would like to read during the open mic, you can sign up on the sheet right over here next to the coffee. If you would like to donate to keep Helicon West going, we have bookmarks on the coffee table with the QR code link. We acknowledge that Helicon West operates on the territory of the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone Nation. Our events are made possible with support from Sugar House Review, the Logan Library, the USU English Department, and community volunteers. For our full land acknowledgement statement, interviews with featured readers, merch, and more, visit heliconwest.wordpress.com. We have a couple of requests in our new home here at the Logan Library. First, during our event, please shut the doors behind you when entering or leaving the room. Second, if you partake of the coffee, please use a lid, where did my word go, and keep the cup in your hand to minimize the likelihood of a spill. Consider bringing your own reusable drink container with a screw-on lid. That would be good for the library and good for the planet. This being summer, we do not have a featured reader. It is all open mic summer. So we need volunteers to sign up and read. I will grab the sheet. I did not do that. We have a lot of people signed up already. The way that we typically do this is that we introduce the first 3 readers, so listen for your name and remember where you are in the lineup. So we will start with Naomi Tin, Jay Payne, and Star Colebrook.
I don't know where to go. Okay, I'm just gonna stand here, whatever. I assume you're it's fine. Hi, anyway, I'm Naomi. If I owe you money, you might know me under a different name. But if I don't owe you money, I'm Naomi. All right, hi. Okay, I'm gonna read some poems in various stages of editing. Why? I don't know. Oh, I forgot one. Hold on. Oh, oh my gosh, how many errors? Okay, never mind. I'm prepared. Anyway, okay, it's summer. That's my excuse for, okay, here we go. I'm with it. This is called Fetish. People have always stared. Mother loves her albino baby. The shock when people notice the white hair and red eyes. Mother loves to dress her up, in yellow and blue dresses with layers of petticoats and lace. Her daughter, a porcelain doll. When blind girl is 4, she slips outside a McDonald's. Her face hits the hard edge of a step. Her tiny lip is peeled back, a waving strip of flesh. Mother holds a stranger's offered napkin to her daughter's bloody wound as she parades her around the crowded dining room. 14 years later, Mother still likes to show off the white-haired, red-eyed girl. Tonight, there in a dimly lit porn store, Mother leads blind girl around shelves of movies, dildos, edible lube, and fuzzy purple handcuffs. The man behind the long counter follows blind girl. He walks a parallel path to hers. His eyes never leave her, even as he takes Mother's boyfriend's money, hands him 3 rolls of quarters. Mother gives blind girl a roll as they enter the peep show booth. The man tilts his head, looks like he would speak. Mother possessively ushers blind girl away. And then this is called The Price of Freedom. The list will keep growing. This is the price of freedom. So you can't go grocery shopping, see a movie, attend mass without scanning for exits. So you never turn your phone off just in case. So you dream about sirens and shooting and blood. So you don't feel safe anywhere. Who cares? I rule here. I want military hardware. Glossy ads told me that a big gun equals a big dick. Don't we all want a big dick? I need something to swing every time a woman won't give me her number, or a barista gets my order wrong, or a man I didn't vote for gets elected. God made men, taught us to make guns, perfected the killing of enemies. God told me that I am elect, part of his army. My enemy? People who read more than one book. People who taught me what pronouns are. People who dress wrong, he, she's. People who won't let me say he, she anymore. I will protect my woman from the desperate horde, even when she says enough. I will use it to protect her from her own soft heart. With this weapon, every no is a yes. With this weapon, I am the hand of God. And then finally, this is called God of Men. This is, I guess I should say, just in case people aren't aware, this is about David and Bathsheba. It's a Bible story. Anyway, the rest is explained in the poem. Obviously, this is not the Bible version, but whatever. Anyway, God of Men. David let his eyes stray from prayer and visions. His wine-soaked eyes roamed and landed on me. Uriah, my husband, was his friend. No matter. Killing is a small thing for a king who lusts. David came himself to tell me Uriah was dead. The night and news are both cold, he said. But he was all warmth. How does one refuse a king? I let my body open. When he entered me, I imagined the blades slipping into my husband's back. Smiled, for only I knew that this great king was fucking a corpse. My mind, buried in dust, my body betrayed me, grew a half-prince. David wept, for now he was caught. His is God of mercy. David was forgiven. And I, like Eve before me, bore the punishment. My son died, shuddered at my breast, gasped. His hands opened and closed, opened and closed. David took up his prayers again. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I am Jay, and tonight I'll be reading two poems. This first one is a recent poem that I wrote. Lately I've been exploring childhood memories, particularly the first time I've ever done something, and then I've been pairing it with a word, and then I've been meditating on the etymology of that word to help me kind of unravel the memory. So this one is titled Inflammable. Inflammable, to kindle in me a love, graham cracker crunch, marshmallow chocolate gush, my first s'more, a small child, no language to define, knew only this sweetness worth sharing. Around our campfire, I completed my orbit, stopped at each relative's seat, ensured it was a marshmallow each received. This is what they tell me. This I do not remember. What I recall, an ember, firefly bright. It let itself linger in the smoke-sugary air until collision, my arm, it burned, I cried, my skin inflammable, pink where the ember died. Also, the events prior. I held it like a torch, mesmerized by the flicker, that black blister, my marshmallow's slow slip down the stick. Then a figure familial approached. She knelt beside me, blew out the blaze like a birthday candle. I marveled, soft swirl of smoke and a single glow, that ember. Through my mind, I follow its lazy drift, whisper my wish, wherever it settles, let it reignite the before. In my sweet offering, let me glimpse their faces, their smiles, but these moments, inflammable, non-flammable. All right, this next one's an older poem of mine, but I've made a few edits since. This one is titled Distraction Display. It's not hard to identify the killdeer, her eye burning a bitter orange like a solar eclipse against sticks, pebbles. It's not hard to identify me, the man on a rock too close, pencil balanced between fingers like a cigarette. Perceiving me as a threat to her aides, she hops closer, performs her desperate dance display of a wing bent broken. I study her choreography, the way she unfurls her wing, steps in circles, unfurls her wing, steps in circles. I unfurl a clean page to sketch her wanting so badly for me to believe her affliction. I outline her wing, her head, trying to forget how it works for the artist. The artist hoping imitated injuries might trick death, preserve that part of us unhatched, that part of us that might mature into something immortal. I'll finish her picture tomorrow. The facade of her fractured wing, the grim eye, that fervid halo of light.
So good so far. Aren't you glad you came? Oh. So I have been going back and rereading old journals. And Summer Helicon West is a little more casual than the usual Helicon West open mic, and so you're allowed to read anything. You should just read. If you write something, you should just read it. And so the sign-up sheet is there with Asher, and I can see right now that it's like only half full. And we have an hour, right? I'm a star, by the way. And so I like to read. I used to read from my journals in open mic, and I could kind of tell, it was like my process. I could tell where I needed to revise, what I needed to do after I would read at Helicon West. And Chad Van Zandt is always a good one to say this, how his writing improves vastly because he reads at Helicon West. So you can read anything here, just write. And isn't it interesting that what you write is always and forever what you write? Have you noticed that? Have you been writing a long time and it seems like you keep coming back to the same thing? Well, that's legitimate. You're supposed to do that. You have to write it until you resolve it. And so here are some little pieces that I wrote in 1993. It's about the wish and the fear of writing. It's about the past and the future, and the alternate reality of living in the right now, because it's weird now. So here's June 3rd, 1993. I'll just read you 4 little pieces. West Mountains, sunset, cows in the Logan shed, grand grape drink, reminiscent of a young life 40 years ago, by the way, I'm 40 in this piece, on the farm in Riverdale, but my view now is from my seat on the curb at the bank parking lot. Traffic a steady roar and flash of metal in my peripheral. Looking out across the southwest fields of Smithfield, it's uncanny. The connection. A Smith from rural Idaho, displaced in Smithfield, a semi-rural town in northern Utah, still smelling the curb. I just write in really tiny notebooks. The cows and the, oh my gosh, my writing is really bad. My practice says, in the sunset. 40 years later, some breeze, some air, some wondering gaze into a future beyond imagining. What will I be when I grow up? Sunday night, June 26, 1993. I don't have to live with my past every day. I ran away from everything of my old life. I don't see any part of it, anytime, anywhere, and I'm lying. I see my past every time I stop to think. You say dragons, I see dragons. I see monsters in the corners, ghost white faces, hollow eyes, cloaked, standing in the corners. I don't need to go back to my drug-induced hallucinations. I hallucinate about the dragons, monsters, every time that I allow them in. My imagination is my enemy, my mother used to say. I wonder if she wondered why I needed to enhance it. If I really want to leave my past behind, stay the dragons, I guess I'll have to someday quit making up excuses for lying down with them. Thank you. This is August 11th, 1993. You won't believe this, but yesterday as I was walking to school, the crack in the sidewalk raised up in the form of a lawnmower blade. The long, narrow, clackety kind of blade you see on those university mower tractors with full-size cutter bars. Only the cutter bars have twitching discs, twirling discs, as well as sliding teeth. And if one rises up at the sidewalk, it could take you off at the ankles or mid-shin. Anyway, I know you won't believe this, but it happened. And the only way I saved myself was to jump on the blade. Then, this morning, there was a man looking at me from the corner of the tree-grown hill. He held a gun across his chest. It was a big, long, yellow gun. I don't think he wanted to shoot me, but he was frowning. If you don't believe me, I don't care. Those things really happen to me. I know why. They happen because I know something I can't admit. If you knew it, you'd believe me because they'd be after you too. And finally, this was a little bit longer. October 22nd, 1993, Friday night. 2 years and 1 day after I made the decision to let my creative, artistic side take over. I went to a reading at a bookstore at 7 o'clock. Stephen Dunn, I never heard of him. He read my anguish. It was powerful. I needed those phrases, those parts of a fellow poet's life, those beaming little harder than quartz arrows of new direction. Right. I cried as he read. I bought a book. I asked Stephen, how do I sit down and write every day? How do I quit letting everything get in the way? If you're a writer, you just do. I said I will. I mean to. I just keep wanting to. That's all I want to do. If you're a writer, you just do. I'll do it. I'm starting right now. I will. You just do it. If you're a writer, you just do. Did I hear that? Did I listen? I already knew it, didn't I? I have a computer at home. My computer is in the bedroom. My house is under construction. My boyfriend is tearing out the ceiling, extending the living room walls right up to the roof. He hopes to be finished by Christmas. Then, in the spring, he'll tear into the bedroom, take that ceiling down a foot, build a room on the top, a nice work room for his craft table. For my computer, I'm writing in my notebook at the grocery store snack bar. My computer sits alone in my bedroom at home. Maybe not. Maybe the kids, the dog, the cat, and my boyfriend are all wrestling on the bed. When I get to use my computer, when I transcribe these notes, this will be a whole new poem. My hand is arthritic, falls asleep melanin, phantom symptoms of an old carpal tunnel injury corrected by surgery 10 years ago. My writing is borderline illegible. My excuse is time. I can't write when I have 2 lit classes in language analysis. I soothe myself by deciding I'll have more material to write on when I finish all that reading for this quarter. My excuse is my boyfriend's children. They're normal. They're not quiet. And even if they were, I wouldn't concentrate. My excuse is my boyfriend's ex-wife. I'm the only help he has for proving he's overpaid his child support. My excuse is my computer is in my bedroom. My bedroom is not my own. Virginia Woolf says, Every woman needs her own small place. My excuse is me.
Our next three readers are Denise Gatstetter, Eva Meyer, and Dominic Bentil.
Hi. Can you hear me okay? I haven't been here in a while, so I'm a little nervous. But when I put on my reading glasses, I can see the words and I can't see you, so it kind of helps. Unless I do this, then I get mixed up. Okay, so I have 4 poems for you today. The first one's called Eclipse. Around the world, thousands of people gathered in the diagonal path of totality. With their faces raised to the heavens and their eyes protected by special dark glasses, they came to witness with great expectation the shadow of the moon across the face of the sun. With lucky clear skies, they watched in wonder as the bright circle of the sun was eaten bite by bite by the ever-expanding smile of darkness. For a few precious minutes, together they watched as the world's light ebbed away. No worry about impending doom or danger, no concern to appease angry gods, no fear of the eerie darkness or strange stillness. In those fleeting moments, were they too stunned by their own smallness? Were they too astonished into gratitude by the grace of the world? When the darkness passed, would they too see with eyes wide open the illuminated world anew? Would they remember to trust the ever-present light in every moment, in every place, in every being, even when it is obscured by fear or hidden by shadow? This is called On a Long Afternoon. I watched closely as the 3-legged bumblebee hummed its way across the sprawling patch of dandelions. He was not hindered by his injury or concerned about the other bumblebird hovering nearby. Landing on each radiant face with care, he tenderly circumambulated the blossom, every step a caress to gather the gold. From flower to flower, he whirred his way without hurry, without apparent fear, scattering bits of beauty among the blooms, a fat striped troubadour sharing his song as the long golden afternoon unfurled before us. So this poem, I tried this poem, I've never done this before. It's sort of like a conversation. So if you saw it, some of it's in italics and some of it's not. So I'm not sure how it'll be, but I think you'll see what I'll talk about. It's called Restoration. The dictionary says to be essential is to be necessary, basic, indispensable. Brilliant light streams beyond, between the dark slats. But to be indispensable is to be something not to be set aside or neglected. Its radiant fingers reach deep into the house, leaving light trails on every surface they touch. To distract is to draw attention away from something else, to turn aside or stray. Beyond the dark, unwavering windows, birds sing to their sweethearts, trusting the trees that hold their fragile nests. Where can your faith be refound? Behind the steadfast house. Which wanderings bring you back to yourself? The garden exhales its earthly breath. What wonder redeems you when you return? Tender pea vines twist and twirl as they reach into the aromatic air. And this is called Reminder. Under the rumble of traffic from Main Street 2 blocks away, Beneath the buzz of the neighbor's lawnmower and the other neighbor's leaf blower comes the main melody, the one that can soothe the cacophonous counter-melody of the mind. The breeze murmurs the overture, the bees buzz the bass line. The whole wide world whispers the refrain, inviting you back to the choir. No need to relearn it, you already know the tune. It resonates in the rhythm of your breath. Listen to your heart. It's always singing to you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Eva Meyer. I have 2 poems for you today, and I've never believed in saving the best for last, but I hope you enjoy both of them. This first one is titled, Hi, I'm calling to cancel my suicide. Yeah, it was scheduled for tomorrow, which I know is last minute. Sorry about that. I'm really just not feeling as ready for it as when I first made the appointment. Plus, recently good things have happened too. What has happened? Well, Monday I ate the only hot dog I ever liked. Usually there's something gross about them I can't put my finger on. Maybe it was the sauerkraut that finally made it. It was much fresher this time around. Oh, and at one point, I fell asleep and became the artur of my dreams. I constructed buildings that didn't make sense from a Euclidean standpoint. I didn't know you could do that. Then there's today, where I heard your shrill voice. And don't worry, I like shrill. It reminds me of a bright bird song. Haha, yeah, I guess it is cliche, that it is the classic cliche of the small things in life. Anyway, sorry for the rambling. I get that you might have to issue a fee for a cancellation so close to appointment time. Oh, rescheduling? Okay, so if I just reschedule, I won't have to be fined? Sounds great with me. Yeah, just set it up for a few months from now. I'll probably be reconsidering by then anyway. Thanks, goodbye. And then this next one is called In Focus. Beaming, she looks through messy hair as though I've done something right. Jubilee in my vision, her visage, it's all underwater from my perspective. Streams of light shine, the penultimate rays of day bleed into LEDs of deep purple. The room teems with philosophy, from Nietzsche to the guy I met on the quad who asked me, should we discuss the queerness of moonlight? Her fingers graze the ridges of my side, and you should have seen the way our bodies lie. Her cheek rests on my chest, and I think I might be experiencing ego death. All there is a fuzzy feeling. Mixed in it all, there are follicles and scratching and short stubble we both do our best to pluck daily. Ultimately, she points out the air compressed between our hands. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Dominic Bentel. Recent graduate from Utah State. My last few months in Logan. I know, it's so sad. Just found this place. I'm going to be sharing 4 poems, or 3, if I can find the other one. It's here somewhere. They're all relatively new, so this is like a first go-around type thing. Kind of fun. I hope you enjoy it. This one's titled, I Do For You. Like a dog, I get giddy as you climb to greet me. You saw me race or cry only 1 or 2 times, and I was a dog in a dead house. And as the bones dance, the dust about, I barked and barked and barked and barked. Yeah, it's somewhere. This one's titled April Showers. April Showers. The world really is changing, once a day, little by little. My father remembers a time when it never snowed on his birthday. I remember the day that changed. People really do change, once a day, little by little. My grandfather remembers a time when things were different. He isn't around anymore. He and I share a birthday, so I imagine him changing with me, once a year, little by little. I try to remember what he believed about change. People are never really gone, he would say. I try to remember that. We'll read this one. This one's titled Residuals, and this will be the last one. I've grown older and my bag has shrunk. Things I carried lost weight and flew away. Not everything stays, my mother once said as we packed. Things like your calculator with my calculator in hand just sometimes leave. Those things I cleave to, they would make an imprint within you, kind of like a footprint, or handprint, or nose, a type of hair, or a pair of lips. Thank you.
Our next three readers are Alan Buys, Corey Webster, and Brock DeChair.
Oops, I'm Alan. 3 or 4, we'll see how it goes on. This one I wrote today. It's titled, "To the Boy Wearing the Shirt About Putting on the Full Armor of God." Wear a belt if your pants are loose. Wear a thick sweater if you are cold. Wear shoes if the ground is stony or covered in thorns. Shield your eyes when the sun is brightest, or wear a hat if your arms get tired. Use what is sharp to cut vegetables or turn soil. Leave all armor to rest. You are not at war. This one is titled Buddha Brew. Even when Buddhism is commodified as a simple theme for a coffee shop, it can't help but make the place kinder. Buddhism is invading. A worker leans in repose on a faux leather couch recently vacated by paying customers, and lines blur. Each act of stillness defies acts of classification that throw up walls based on occupation or habitual doings. Here too, though, we call stillness meditating, and the still a meditator. Afraid that without walls we may see the horizon clear, and in the seeing know that it is already here, that we need go nowhere, that we need do nothing. This one is titled, "Would You Like a Hug?" A worker makes the physically short but symbolically long walk around the counter to hug a crying customer. I cannot tell if they relate to each other outside this transaction, or if this is their first relate. One wipes the other's tears, and the details don't matter. Human love and kindness needs no prologue, only acknowledgement.
I'm Corey Webster. My wife and I run the Haywire Ranch up in Downey, Idaho. Maybe you've seen it, they're right down there, the hot springs. I've been writing poetry and stuff my whole life, and my poor wife is the only one that's ever heard any of it.
Thank you for coming.
I'm going to see if I can read 4 poems here. I have a problem when I get in front of people, my heart starts to just really pound hard.
Yeah.
This first poem is called The Foothill Lights of Home. One so dark a lonely night, without the hope of one dim light, or a candle lit for a weary soul who's traveled from a prairie shoal. Now house lights like stars and red tail lights of cars form a milky way of twinkle bright, like a comet streaking in the night, melt away down concrete rails, where once a few game trails, houses hanging on the mountainside, as down this valley my 4 wheels ride, below the foothill lights of home, below the foothill lights of home. If I'm a lonesome traveler here in the darkness of yesteryear, my footsteps would echo out, my heart's own fear and doubt, and on the morrow I would stop and build a shelter on a hilltop, with candle lit and window pane, to offer comfort to the same. Yet these souls go streaking by on their fiery Winnebago sky, underneath the phantom twinkling light, once so quiet darkness, now so bright, along the foothill lights of home, along the foothill lights of home. Thank you. If it got typed and it's on my iPhone, then it must be something I thought was pretty good. So, I'd like to share with you something that I think is a little goofy, but my wife likes this one. It's called the Annual Production Cell. In the winter, I receive lots of offers that come by U.S. mail, listing cows and heifers and lots of bulls for sale. They rarely list the prices, each bovine to be sold. Some offer free shipping with money down to hold. Yeah, if you live within 500 miles, they'll ship you a bull for free. How can they offer to do this? Ship clear out here to me? Oh well, I scan the pages quickly with pictures of each registered, tested sire. Then I set each catalog aside, later used to start the fire. An idea came to me this morning as I was getting ready to go. Perhaps I should give these magazines to my dad, the biggest bull shipper I know. I was finished with this poem. It's called When Do You Lay Down Your Plow? And I don't look that old, I know, I'm just a young looking guy, but I am actually very old. And I'm getting very weak as I realize it's harder and harder every year to do the hard work of farming. And this little poem I wrote years ago is becoming more appropriate. When do you call it quits if a farmer you be? When death and friends come calling on thee? When you're old and gray and can barely see? When do you lay down your plow? When do you quit working your piece of earth, the land of your fathers, the place of your birth, the daily work that measures your worth? When do you lay down your plow? When do you stop working the grains, the rye, the brome grass, alfalfa beneath the blue sky? Work the long hours without asking why? When do you lay down your plow? Or do you just keep plowing until you can't move your feet and you have to hire help to harvest your wheat because you'll never concede or submit to defeat? When do you lay down the plow? Like the autumn stubble you've given all, and the wind, the faint whisper to answer the call. Could you sell your land, move to town this fall? When do you lay down your plow? Smell the dust and rain, the cattle come in, the embrace of soil and sage on your skin. Work till you fall like seeds sown in. When do you lay down your plow?
Hi, I'm Brock. At Star State, we tend to return to the same subjects over and over. Lately I seem to be writing about dog shit or sex. You'll be glad to know that this is the latter. It's called In Defense of Lust. Why do people say it's only lust? As if lust was something trivial and random, like how your mother decided to spell your name with no vowels. Nothing is more motivating than lust, nothing more central to identity, nothing more crucial to a relationship, nothing more titillating to write about. On the great scale of human values, lust is neither better nor worse than lack of lust, but marital bliss depends on matching libidos. If one party gets lustful looking at underwear ads, and the other never lets sex interfere with a good nap, they can have all the shared values and interests in the world. The relationship doesn't stand a chance. Sure, it's easy to find examples of complications from the little head doing the thinking, but that's true of milk and cookies. The arbiters of morality who condemn the lustful, are they just jealous? Unable to inspire lust themselves? Perhaps tragically unacquainted with it? Is lust transitive, needing an object I lust after, I lust for? Or is it separate from the object? A basic feeling like hunger or thirst that isn't defined by whatever might satisfy it. Say lustful when people imagine a toothless, drooling old man staring through the fence slats at field hockey practice, all those teen girls in pleated skirts and enthralling bloomers, clad riding up and down young hairless thighs. My name is Brock, and I'm addicted to lust. When I was on happy pills, I lost my lust and my identity. That mask of me was alien, aimless. My higher power is lust. It has led me into compromising situations, to do things that today make me cringe, but it's also been responsible for most of my life's best moments. I fear the day when lust leaves me, when nothing stirs at the sight of coy cleavage or brazen nipple. When that happens, you'll hear the howls of a soul lost.
Last call if anyone wants to add their name. All right, Tim. All right. Anybody else want to add their name at the last minute? Going once, twice? All right, Tim, if you want to come up, and then I will read after Tim.
All right.
Camera on, please.
And I've just got 3 poems. My mother's attempted suicide. I didn't see her wade barefoot through dirty puddles of sludge oozing up the curb and across the cracked sidewalks. I didn't see her standing on the cold concrete, staring out over the water, ice bobbing in the current. I didn't see her hesitate before climbing the bridge, trembling like a ghost while the sun sank below the horizon. I didn't see her descend into the frigid river, body a narrow line of desire, dark water closing over her head like a coffin. Self-care. Self-care. I took my exit like an actor bowing off the stage. I walked through the open door without apology, without glancing back. To you, standing haloed in the early morning sunlight filtering through the yellow curtains hanging above your kitchen window. I didn't have to see you to know the way you'd stand with your hip cocked against the steel basin of the sink, the corner of your apron twisted in a white-knuckled grip, your bare feet stacked, one atop the other on the cold tile floor. I tell myself, I could have protected you from this hurt if I had told you sooner than the day I left for the bus out of state, out of your life. I say it like a chorus to a song stuck on repeat. If only I'd done this or that or some other thing, I could have protected you. Like it was my duty to safeguard the fragility of your mental state, to treat you as I might a child in need of protection from her mother. And this last one is a little bit more raw. I haven't played with it as much, and it is from during the school year, the Savvy office runs a writing studio, and I wrote it in response to one of their prompts. It's called That Girl. The one in the picture wearing the blue dress, all flowing and bohemian, in the color that makes her eyes pop inside her black frames, makes them look freakish. Freak, a name she pins to her chest each morning to take away the sting when it's lobbed at her like a live grenade. Smile brittle behind her black lipstick, holds tight to her secrets. Tells the whole world how he raped her in the downstairs bedroom on a ratty futon, Cowboy Bebop playing in the background. Dresses the event in all the pretty words she knows, trying to uncover a truth that isn't a sweaty teenage boy forcing his way inside her, trying to find a different boy, one who isn't her best friend. That girl doesn't talk about how she isn't real. She's a constructed social performance of what she understands femininity to be. Sure, she's got tits and a vagina, but those parts aren't who she is as a person, not who she sees when she closes her eyes and wishes on eyelashes. That girl, the one in her mind, wears sneakers, not high heels, dresses in all black, expresses herself in band names and social justice slogans, cuts her hair into a crest that changes color with her mood. That girl wears a boy's name, lives like nobody is watching, like there's nothing new to see if you try to dig deeper. That girl, the one too beautiful to break, the one who would rather be dead some days, that girl calls herself Liam, and he is alive.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for coming to Helicon West. Thank you to everyone who was brave and got up and read tonight. I don't know when the next one is. It's not on in my email.
It's the fourth Thursday of June, so it's around the
27.
Okay. And it's summer, so it's all open mic summer. So it's come, read, spend 7 minutes at a time. It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Ashley.